Hi, wonderful beings. In this lesson, we're going to talk about the power of apology. We've all done things that we're not very proud of, myself included. We have done things or said things that we may have tried to forget that have caused some hurt in another human being. Whether it was done intentionally or unintentionally, it is not the point. The point is that our words, our actions, have an impact on other people, and sometimes they create hurt. So at times it is the right thing to apologize for the part of the hurt that we have created. I want to share with you a little story that I was having a discussion with my dad some years ago, and then I don't remember what we talked about, but then he asked me, "Do you remember when you told me that I disgusted you?" And I was completely surprised, and I couldn't believe what he said. He said, "Yes, when you were about 15, you told me you disgust me to my face." And I just couldn't believe it. I had no memory of it whatsoever. Sure, I was an angry teenager back in the days, so I may have said some hurtful things to my dad and probably to other people in my life, but I did not even remember. And I was so shocked at what he said. And I was like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry. I don't remember. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. I said that to you. I'm so sorry." And I apologized over and over again, and I gave him a hug, and I said, I didn't mean it. I don't know why I would have said that. I was obviously probably very upset with something, but I'm so sorry it caused you some pain. So here you go. I'm having this discussion with my dad years after the event, and he's been having this pain in his heart for something horrible that I told him probably like 20 years ago or something. And I knew my dad, and I knew it was pretty heavy on him. It's not like, "Oh, you just said that and I didn't pay attention. I didn't take it personally." I knew that my dad had taken it personally, so I definitely had to apologize and make amends with him. So here you go. That's my little story of how I've said something pretty horrible to somebody who cared and loved for me. So sometimes we react from a place of fear, anger, frustration, sadness, immaturity, in my case, ignorance. And it definitely impacts the people around us because all of us are sentient beings. And sometimes we try to not let those things affect us, but it still does at times. So we all do the best that we can at any given time, and we take decisions, we say things, we do things based on our level of awareness, our level of knowledge, emotions, and skills at that very moment. Still, we can cause a trigger of pain in our partner. And it takes a lot of courage to apologize for having hurt someone, for having said something that is that is a reaction made in fear or anger or sadness. Apologizing and truly meaning it makes us enter into adulthood in our relationship, and we really need to mean it. Some people out there are very good at apologizing and going and causing the same hurt over and over again. You tend to see that in a lot of very abusive relationships. I'm talking about you apologizing in a true heartfelt way, that you mean that you're apologizing for the part that you caused in a drama or the hurt between the two of you. We are going to practice a very simple apology that comes from a Hawaiian prayer. It's called the Oponopono apology, or Oponopono prayer. It's very simple and it's super powerful, and I use it myself on a weekly basis. Every week I have a little bit of me time, And I get to sit down and write down a few things about who I intend to be as a human being, what's important to me. I do my 4 times really want. What do I really, 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 really want, like we practiced before. And I also write down the Ho'oponopono apology, sometimes to myself and sometimes to other people. I want to practice this because this is not something I was brought up with. Apologizing is not a practice that I was familiar with, and I want it to become more easy for me to not be too self-righteous about situations and be able to acknowledge and accept the part that I cause in a conflict or an argument or a misalignment here. And so here it goes. You're going to simply be in a quiet place, and you place your hands on your heart and think about yourself as the receiver of an apology. Imagine that you're the one who needs to apologize to yourself, or that somebody else needs to apologize to you for a hurt that they have created. So you will simply repeat the following. You, as the receiver of the apology: I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Keep your hands on your heart and you say those things over and over and over again. And you've got to feel it. Feel that I am sorry, how deep it is. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And that's how you can practice apologizing to yourself, because sometimes we are the ones who are hurting ourselves with our thoughts, with our attitude. Sometimes we mess up, and instead of us going into guilt or shame and blaming ourselves over and over again, we got to give ourselves this grace and apologizing for being human and messing up at times. I sure do mess up at times as well. So don't think that you're the only one who's flawed out there. We are all imperfect, flawed human beings. So do this, and you can repeat this prayer to yourself several times. And you can make it a ritual. I write it down every week. And the other part of applying this apology, Hawaiian prayer, is that you have your partner be the receiver of the apology. Same thing, you place your hand on your heart. You can be by yourself and you practice apologizing to your partner. Because for some of us, it's not an easy thing to do. Some of us may think, I don't need to apologize. He's the one who started it, or he's way more to blame about the situation than I am. Okay, there could be some logical reason here for you to think that, and in some cases it could be justified. But I bet there are some times when you have crossed the line, when you have acted and said things that were mean or angry or attacking or whatever, or not being the person that your partner needed you to be at some point. Maybe he or she really needed you in some ways and you've not been there in that moment. So practice this apology towards the other. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Over and over again until it feels good. And the next step here of this exercise is for you to write an apology letter to your partner. I'd like you to think of a specific situation, something that you did that was hurtful or destructive or caused a headache or heartache to your partner or to your family. That's a time when you've reacted out of fear. And you're going to write a short, brave, and specific apology letter to your partner, acknowledging the part that you played in a conflict or hurt, just your part. And you're going to end the letter with the Ho'oponopono apology of, I am sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. So let me give you an example. It could go something like this. You write it down on a piece of paper. Honey, John, Remember when we talked about your work the other night and how I got upset with you for spending too much time in the office, and I told you you didn't care about me and the kids, and I said you were selfish and uncaring. I'm sorry for what I said, and I'm sorry I walked out of the room and did not take the time to listen to you. Okay, that's the situation. That's how you reacted. It could be that your partner said some horrible things to you as well. Maybe he was even, you know, physically not present with you, or maybe also he stormed out. Maybe some things were broken. It doesn't matter. This part is about your accountability, your part in the hurt, in the conflict, even if your part might only be 2% of the entire argument or problem here. It is a very adult-centered way to be able to acknowledge and voice out the parts that we mess up. And you can then read your letter to your partner face to face or over the phone if your partner is far away. And if your loved one is no longer alive, you can mail the letter to the universe, or you can burn your apology letter as a ritual safely, in the same way that we've done for the forgiveness letter earlier on. So set your expectations right here. Do not expect anything in return. Do not expect your partner to forgive you, to absolve you, to brush it off. They may not be able to. They may not want to. That's okay. Accept this part. And do not write this letter in an intention to create some guilt or remorse or blame. So you're not going to write the letter of like, yeah, I said this and that, but you said this, you said that, blah, blah, blah. No. It's only about your part in a challenging situation. And do not belittle yourself. I'm not talking about you telling yourself or telling your partner how silly you were, how such an idiot you were, and you were so mean. I'm not talking about attacking yourself. I'm talking about you recognizing the emotions that you were experiencing, the reactions that came out, and the pain that you felt, and how sorry you are for your part and the pain that you have caused to your partner. Do say, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I crossed the line. I've had to say that to my husband before. And try to not do it again, obviously. But we're human and we mess up. And sometimes what we do, even if we're fine with it, it doesn't meet the expectations of our partner. And the hurt that we cause is unintentional at times. Still, you can explain in the letter, I was reacting out of, and then you explain your emotion, whatever was going on for you. Fear, sadness, anger, desperation, loneliness, fatigue, whatever it is that was going on for you. And if you're also pretty well in touch with your needs, you might be able to express them as well. Because I was needing for connection. I was needing for understanding. I was needing for this and that. But we'll talk about this in the next module here. We'll delve deeper into our needs and how to express them and communicate them in a precise and helpful way that it helps our couple. You are doing this apology letter to acknowledge your responsibility in the drama and hurt. That is stepping into an adult relationship and being accountable for your part in the process, not being accountable for other people's parts in the process. That's their business. You stay in your business. There you go, ladies. I wish for you to write your short and brave and specific apology letter to your partner. Please do it this week and share it with him or her if you can. And practice Ho'oponopono on a regular basis, you as a receiver and you as the giver as well of the apology. Take care, and I'll see you on the next video.